बाबा अवतार
जय
मेहर बाबा।
बाबा।
Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. So, welcome everyone. Hope you all have had your little grub and pre dinner and all set for the Baba Quotes program. So, before starting, we'll just let everybody know that it could be your birth date or it could be any date that comes to your heart right now. 28th of XYZ month, 22 this, 01 this, whatever date that Baba gives in your heart right now. You could share the date after doing your raise hands, and I will call out as per the raise hands. You'll share your date which you've got, and then I will read out the Baba quote of that date. So please raise your hands. And before starting, I would like to read this part from the introduction of the book Ramju's Diaries. And this is by Francis Brabazon and called The Quest. First, the gathering of his disciples, those men marked out by the round of time and God's grace, to be finished with time to erase from their hearts through perfect service self's delusion of self, his testing them by admonition, changes of food, fasts, changes of habitat, bringing in extremes of climate, long miles in the dusty roads, repeating the name on each breath and each step, testing them, smelting the ore of them, so that the gold of them might shine as satellites to the gold of his sun, so that each one, cooked of his rawness, became a pliant hand or foot or eye or ear of God and his work. Written in Sydney, Australia in 1958. Avtar Meher Baba Ki Jai. So with that, we have Mona's hand first. Jai Baba Mona.
Jai Baba Rosh. I wanted guidance for 30th March, my mom's birthday. I mean, whatever the calendar has to say. Yeah.
March 30th. Okay. So the quote for 30th March: selfishness comes into existence owing to the tendency of desires to find fulfillment in action and experience. The range of selfishness is equal to the range of desires. Owing to the hindrance of multifarious desires, it becomes impossible for the soul to find free and full expressions of its true being. And life becomes self centered and narrow. The entire life of the personal ego is continually in the grip of wanting, that is, an attempt to seek fulfillment of desires through things that change and vanish. Jai Baba.
Thank you.
And now we have dear Betty.
November 5, my birthday.
All right. Okay. So, just a second. November 5th, the quote says, repentance consists in reviving the wrongs with severe self condemnation. Such penance unwinds the sanskaras that are responsible for the action. Penance should not be like the everyday repentance that follows everyday weaknesses. It should not become a tedious and sterile habit of immoderate and gloomy pondering over one's own failings. Sincere penance does not consist in perpetuating grief for the wrongs, but in resolving to avoid in future those deeds that call forth remorse. If it leads to lack of self respect or self confidence, it has not served its true purpose. which is merely to render impossible repetition of certain types of action. The subline to November 5th also is a reminder that the prayer of repentance was read out in English in the presence of Avtar Meher Baba for the first time in 1952 on November 5th. Jai Meher Baba.
Wow. Wow, I have to live with that one. I have to think of it. Wow, thank you.
And now we have dear Vijayji.
Jai Baba, Roshni ji. And my birth date is March 21st. It's a Parsi New Year. And so I wonder what message.
All right, yes, it's called Jamshedji Navroz, which is
Yeah.
actually a harvest or spring festival celebrated in Persia in Iran, and primarily, yes, celebrated by Zoroastrians and Iranis as the it is similar actually and connected how to the year of the animal like the Chinese New Year. So on Jamshedji Navroz you have the dictate for that year on which animal the year is going to be, which is the same as the Chinese New Year. So 21st March. So Vijayji, your quote is Baba. Majnu loved Leila. This was pure love, not physical, not
Yeah.
intellectual, but spiritual love.
I
He saw
love that.
Leila in everything and everywhere. He never thought of eating, drinking, sleeping without thinking of her. And all the time he wanted her happiness. He would have gladly seen her married to another if he knew that would make her happy, and die for her husband if he thought she would be happy in that. At last it led him to me. No thought of self, but of the beloved, every second and continually. You would not be able to do that if you tried it. Needs grace. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
That's a Ishq
Uh,
Hakiki. Ishq Hakiki. Baba's
Yes.
father was 21st March.
yeah,
So,
Baba's father.
uh,
Yours daddy's daddy.
they are.
Baba's father was born on 21st March 1853.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is Ishq
Michelle
Hakiki.
Schaefer too. That's her
Ishq
birthday.
Hakiki. Oh, yeah, I love that. Thank you so much.
Jai Baba. And
Jai
now we
Baba.
have Meher. So it's not necessary it has to be your birth date, just again to tell everyone. It could be any significant date or any date that comes to your heart right now. Okay? So yes, Meher.
7th August, Purush's birthday.
Okay. All right. So the quote for you, Meher. It is so easy for you to love those whom you already love. But to love those whom you hate, that is something. To love those whom you could not hate is natural. But to love those whom you cannot love is to love me as I should be loved. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
Thank you. Thank you. Jai Baba.
Welcome. And now we have dear Angela.
Jay Baba, fabulous quotes these are. So, why not July 1st, my birthday?
Okay. Ta-da. And the July 1st quote. External silence helps to achieve inner silence, and only in internal silence is Baba found, in profound inner silence. I am never silent. I speak eternally. The voice that is heard deep within the soul is my voice, the voice of inspiration, of intuition, of guidance. Through those who are receptive to this voice, I speak. My outward silence is no spiritual exercise. It has been undertaken and maintained solely for the good of others. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Beautiful.
Wonderful.
Yay, now we have Rosalie.
I'm very curious about the first Duni that Baba celebrated was not on the 12th. It was in 1925. It was on November 10th. I want to know November 10th.
November 12th or November 10th?
No, the first one he
10th.
celebrated was
November
on
10th.
the 10th. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yes, the first Dhuni in 1925 at Mehrabad. My pen has not the strength to sing your praise. At the first glow of your flame, there was rain. How marvelous is your gift! To cool your radiant blaze, God Himself, honoring you, showered rain on you for hours on end. May you come to the rescue of thousands. May you receive the blessings of the poor. To those who pray to you, may you give protection. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
Yeah, they did get rain, didn't they? They really needed rain. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Lovely. Jai Baba. And we have Meherchandji. Jai Baba.
Oh, I want to read on 25th February, our beloved's birthday. Beloved Baba's birthday, like a Baba's message.
Okay. Sorry. So, the quote for you, Meherchandji says, hold fast to my daman and be 100% honest in every way, because God, besides being infinite power, knowledge, and bliss, is also infinite honesty. And so, by being honest in everything, you will be able to love God honestly as He ought to be loved. I will be with you all who gather for my birthday to celebrate my being among you. I am wherever my lovers are. Avtar Meher Baba.
Meher Baba ki jai. Thank you,
So
Roshni ji.
beautiful. Thank you, Meherchandji. So let's see some more hands up. Raised hands, raised hands. Yes, Rita ji, you can unmute. Okay, we have Betty. Yes, Betty.
This is Dave, my husband, November 28th.
Okay. All right. So the quote is, the only thing that I have been repeating ever since the first time I came is love God. Age after age, I have been saying nothing but love God. Love everyone now uses the word love. It has been made so very cheap. If one really loves, one would never utter that word. What does it mean to love God? It is a very, very great thing. The true lover of God never says anything. He forgets that he loves God. Jai Meher Baba. Lovely quote that was, Betty.
Yeah.
And now we have Dan and Terry. Jai Baba.
Hi, everyone. Sorry we can't be on camera. Let's do Terry's birthday, March 16th, and then we'll do mine after. Thanks for doing this, Rashni.
Not at all. All is Baba. The quote for you for March 16th. The thought or wish the dying individual holds at the moment of death has special importance in determining his future destiny. If the last thought is of God or the master, the individual achieves liberation. In the state of liberation, there is neither selfishness nor selflessness in the ordinary sense, but both of these are taken up and merged into the feeling of selflessness for all. Realization of the unity of all is accompanied by peace and unfathomable bliss. Jai Meher Baba.
Nice. Now, can you do September 18th?
Sure. The quote for September 18. I was very happy to receive your love filled letter in your sweet language. I love all of you. I love children. Do you know why? Because your Baba is also a child. You are innocent, and so am I. My very name is Bholanath, one of the names of Shankar, the Prince of Innocence. Just as your heart is soft, so is mine. You like to play games, and so do I. Jai Meher Baba. What a lovely quote. And now we have
Rita
Dinku.
Kohli,
Sorry.
31st May, Rita Kohli.
Okay, 31st May. Right. Sorry.
31st May.
Yeah. Just a second. Okay. So, Rita ji, your quote is: through fulfilled desires as well as through unfulfilled ones, the ego is accentuated. When there is a real cessation of all desires, however, there is a cessation of the desire to assert separateness in any form. Therefore, real freedom from all desires brings about the end of the ego. The ego is made of variegated desires, and the destroying of these desires amounts to the destruction of the ego. God reveals himself only to that mind which is entirely devoid of egoism and egotism. Jai Meher Baba. Yes, Dinku. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, can I have 28th of August, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Huh.
That's the same as Kitty Davies' birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
So your quote is: I enjoy games, chiefly cricket, playing marbles, flying kites, and listening to music. From time immemorial, I have been playing with the Mayavic universe, and this enjoyment of playing still persists. I sometimes see motion pictures, mostly humorous ones, and enjoy my real state of being the eternal producer of the vast, ever changing, never ending film called the universe. I also find relaxation in listening to humorous stories all the time, being aware of the humor that lies in aspect of the soul, which is the source of infinite power and glory, being made to feel so helpless in its human bondage of ignorance arising from its various forms of duality. Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Baba, thank you. That was lovely.
Jai Baba. And now we have Rosalie again. Jai Baba.
Jay Bob, I'm also curious of the day, like this year, it was September 12th. It was 67 years since the 3 incredible weeks began, and it was also on a Dooney Day. So I want to know what that has to say, September 12th.
Okay. September 12, Baba also gave How to Love God in 1954. To love God in the most practical way is to love our fellow beings. If we feel for others in the same way as we feel for our own dear ones, we love God. If instead of seeing faults in others, we look within ourselves, we are loving God. If instead of robbing others to help ourselves, we rob ourselves to help others, we are loving God. If we suffer in the suffering of others and feel happy in the happiness of others, we are loving God. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
You know, that's so beautiful. And on the film, where Darwin is the narrator, Darwin Shaw, Kitty Davy reads How to Love God. It's so beautiful. It's just worth, I mean, that film is so incredibly special. Yeah. Meher Baba's call. Meher Baba's call. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. And we have Meher again. The others can also do raise hands for a lovely Baba
Third
quote for
March,
yourself.
3rd March, please.
Okay.
What are you doing? What day? March what?
March 3rd.
There.
Right. So your quote is, the most practical thing to do in the world is to be spiritually minded. It needs no special time, place, or circumstances. It is not necessarily concerned with anything out of the way of anyone's daily life and day to day routine. It is never too late or too early to be spiritual. It is just a simple question of having a right attitude of mind toward lasting values, changing circumstances, avoidable eventualities, and a sense of the inevitable. Jai Meher Baba.
Thank you.
Welcome. So, who's next? Ta-da. Okay, so till somebody raises hands, I will read December 18th. My first ever trip to Mehrabad. Okay, all right. So it says, only through the wise exercise of mental control is it possible for man to rise from passion to peace, from bondage to freedom, and from animality to purity. Such control is born of strength of character and health of mind, and it invariably brings with it freedom from fear and immense peace and calmness. Control is indispensable for the conservation of mental energy and the economical use of thought force for creative purposes. Jai Meher Baba, how wonderful. Yes, Meher Chandji.
Oh, our beloved Marama is on 22nd December. Even though she was born on 7th January, Baba's instructions to do birthday on 22nd December.
And on my first trip, I had got to witness the celebrations of Mehra's birthday.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful feeling. Okay. So the quote is for 22nd December, one cannot house God whose heart cannot house love. When the Creator, whoever or whatever he may be, created creation, there were no temples, no mosques, no churches, no synagogues, no telling of beads, no prattle of priests, no chanting of hymns, no offering of bribes at altars. When rituals came into existence, God gradually began to fade out of it. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
Thank you.
Good one.
Roshanji.
Good one. How about Mani's birthday, December 15th?
Okay. Mhm. All right. Just a second. Okay. So the quote for Mani's birthday is, "Love is a strange binding. It binds and unbinds. The more you bind yourself to the beloved, the greater the freedom, in bracket, unwinding you have. But such love is very rare. In fact, love is an ocean of fire that you have to cross to meet the beloved. If you can love me more and more, there will come a day when you will realize me as I am. I am not this physical form. I am the ocean, the unlimited ocean of love. Try to love me more and more, and you will know me." Jai Meher Baba.
That's
So what about
perfect.
dear? Yeah.
Yeah, she was fiery. I mean, in a delightful way, but she was fiery.
Lovely. What about Al, Chaitali, Sham Sundarji?
Al missed it because
Al, you can think of a date or your birth date or any other date that you get in your heart, and I'll read out a quote from the calendar on that date.
November 5th. We need to hear it again.
I couldn't turn my mic.
It's off. It's off again.
It's kind of serious, Al. It's all about repentance.
Yes. Now you can speak, Al.
I was going to say I didn't get to the mute button in time, but Rosalie is right. It is November 5th. And then I'm going to share a quote that Rosalie's been quoting recently that's a little obscure, but what is my quote for November 5th? Is there one?
Not obscure.
Brace yourself.
I thought you were going to read a quote that falls on my birthday. I don't know what quote falls on my birthday.
Yes, so we can read that too. Okay, so November 5th says, "God cannot be explained. He cannot be argued. He cannot be theorized, nor can be discussed and understood. God can only be lived. To fear God or his manifestations is to strengthen duality. To love God and his manifestations is to weaken it." Jai Meher Baba.
Daddy, how did you get that different one?
Yeah, I got a very different one. Are there two on the same day?
No.
Mine was all about repentance and penitence.
What was your date?
November 5th.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, then something else popped up saying November 5th.
Oh, how funny. How funny. You know, that's also Alan Cohen's birthday.
Oh, really?
That is funny.
Yeah, he did that just for me.
Oh. You sure?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
This is really funny.
Oh, Meher's.
What about
Meher, your hand is up. Okay.
Quote about Araj, please.
What do you mean? Quote about
Read about Araj.
October 13th.
13th October. 13th October.
October 13th.
Okay. Okay. Betty, I'm sure Baba was doing some humor with you. All right. So October 13th says, the energy which is expended in mere thinking, talking, or writing is like the steam which escapes through the whistle of the railway engine. The whistle makes a noise and is even interesting, but it cannot drive the engine. No amount of whistling can move the engine forward. The steam has to be harnessed and used intelligently in order that it may actually take the engine to its destination. That is why the sages have always insisted on practice rather than theory. This applies particularly to those who want to know and realize God. Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Baba.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah.
He knew where the engine was. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, Al, what was your next date?
Well, I was going to share a quote. I think, I don't know, I'm just taking a guesstimate that there must be at least 3,000 photos of Baba, maybe more. I think I talked to Laura at the book room. She thinks there's a lot more. But anyway, this is the latest one that I've been meditating on. Because no matter what I say, Baba says it's perfect, you know. Whatever complaint or problem or difficulty I have, Baba says it's perfect. So this, I think I've shared several times, and Rosalie also has, from Circular, where Baba says, constant remembrance of the word of his name and the form in which he manifested consumes the mind. Choiceless awareness of his ever-renewing and indivisible presence, both in and around us, lifts the curtain that veils our vision from the truth. So I've been trying to focus more on not only repeating his name, but associate it with one of the forms. And this one is the one I think is my favorite, because
beautiful.
Baba's saying everything is perfect. I don't know. Let me show you something. While we're talking about this, this was in a series of 4 photos. So I'll show you the other 3 since I showed you that one. So, you know, in this case, it's me, but it could be any of us. You go to Baba and Baba says, everything's perfect. And you say, but Baba, you don't understand. So then Baba says to you, well, what's the problem, you know? So you start with all your problems and complaints and worries. And then Baba says, don't worry about it. Just don't, let it go. Don't worry about it.
Johnny Doe.
Instead of listening to Baba, you keep on complaining. So Baba says, stop it. He switches hands and he says, cut it out. And then you go back to the first one where he says, well, everything's perfect. Whether you like it or not, whether you experience it or not, whether you believe it or not, it's still perfect. So that's the story.
Al, do it at our concert. Yeah.
This is so good, Al. Thank you so much.
Oh, you want to repeat this at the concert?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I gotta go over.
So anyone else has another date? Sham Sundarji, Chaitali, Mahesh.
Come on, you guys. Birthdays?
Birthdays, any date.
You don't need birthday, but I have one. It's the day Dr. Ghani died, because Baba said about Dr. Ghani dying during the new life that that was the worst for Baba of anything else in the new life, the loss of Ghani in the new life. So it's August 7th.
Oh, she did August 7th already for Mayhair. It's yeah.
Let's hear it again.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Mayhair Daravala, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it was. Yeah, she did it for somebody else. For maybe.
It is so easy. Okay, so August 7th.
Yeah.
It is so easy for you to love those whom you already love. But to love those whom you hate, that is something. To love those whom you could not hate is natural. But to love those whom you cannot love is to love me as I should be loved.
Jai
Avatar
Baba.
Meher Baba.
Yeah, Jai Baba.
I have to
Okay,
say
Mahesh, so
goodbye,
type in your date.
everybody, and I enjoy the quotes.
Mahesh, type in any date that you want that comes to your heart or your birth date or anything, and then I'll read a quote of that date for you. Mahesh is traveling, so he's not putting on his mic, but just type the date in the chat. Yes, Sham Sundarji.
Okay, Jai Baba. I first tell a small story.
Oh boy.
There was a Sufi saint, Shams Tabriz. He had one follower, and one time they were crossing the river. Shams Tabriz was leading, and the disciple was following him. And disciple told Shams Tabriz that I don't know swimming. Master said, you just keep on repeating my name and you will be able to swim the stream. So he started repeating Shams Tabriz. And on the way, he noticed that Shams Tabriz himself is calling Allah, Allah, Allah. So he also started repeating Allah, Allah, Allah. And by this, he started drowning. Then Master asked, what is happening to you? He said, I am drowning. Master said, why you are drowning? Are you not repeating my name? He said, no, I am repeating Allah, Allah, which is higher than you. Master said, no, you are not acquainted with Allah. You are acquainted only with me. So you repeat only my name. And then they crossed. Is it clear?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Jai Baba.
Interesting.
So is there any date you want me to read a quote for, Shamji?
Pardon?
I think give us any date, your birth date or any significant date that you want, and I'll read Baba's quote from that date.
Okay, it is 27th.
Which month?
July.
Give me month.
July, he says.
July. Okay. All right. So the quote is, let your heart be pure. Do not act outwardly what you are not inwardly. Be absolutely honest. God is infinite honesty. Do not pose as being pious because God is everywhere. God cannot be fooled. So why pose as something you are not? I do not want anything else from you but the gift of your obedience. Give me that, and you will free yourself from the bondage of ignorance. I have come to help you in winning the one victory of all victories, to win yourself. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Thank you. This is nicely holding on me. I shall try to stick to it. Thank you.
Jai Baba. Okay, so we will read 25th August for Mahesh. 25th also the day when Baba dictated the beloved God prayer in 1959. And the quote is the prayer itself. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, until we become worthy of union with you, and help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman until the very end. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Lovely, Jai Baba.
Interesting quotes. Very different, very unique choices. Wow. August 8th. August 8th.
All right. I'm still wondering where that quote popped up for you.
That was
All right.
special.
Be angry with none but your weakness. Hate none but your lustful self. Be greedy to own more and more wealth of tolerance and justice. Let your temptation be to tempt me with your love in order to receive my grace. Wage war against your desires, and Godhood will be your victory. Real happiness lies in making others happy. The real desire is that which leads you to become perfect in order to make others perfect. The real aim is that which aims to make others become God by first attaining Godhood yourself. Avatar Meher Baba
And
ki
Baba
jai.
Ki Jai. That is
What a
that.
lovely quote.
I have one other. August 5th. August 5th.
All
5.
right. Okay.
Those are incredible.
August 5th. The great mistake you make is that you lift the burden from your head, but instead of placing it on the head of the one who willingly accepts it with all responsibility, you keep it hanging over you in the air, hesitating to give it, lest you lose something valuable. Thus, you neither bear the burden nor allow it to rest on the head of the one who wants it to be transferred. In bracket, Baba. You keep it hanging between the two and place both under suspense, thereby aggravating your suffering. Either keep it yourself or give it up entirely. Jai Baba.
Roshani, please put that in the chat.
Okay.
That's very significant.
All right, I'll put it.
I love that. It's so visual. It's so visual.
Okay, just give me some time. I'll just put it in the chat, Rosalie.
Yeah.
Meher Chand, what's your
Meher Chandji. Thank you, Betty, for helping. Yes,
Of
Meher
course,
Chandji.
it's none other than Adi K. Irani's birthday on 4th September.
Okay. All right. Okay, the quote is: perfection is not only oneness with God, but the continual and uninterrupted experience of oneness in everything. A perfect master continually, without break, experiences and realizes his own self as the self in all. The inner experience objectively manifests itself in the spontaneity of love that such a one feels or expresses towards all creation. To him, nothing is attractive or repulsive, good and bad, saint and sinner, beauty and ugliness, wisdom and idiocracy, health and disease. All are modes of his own manifestation. Avatar Meher Baba ki
Meher Baba
jai.
ki jai.
How beautiful.
I got one. Dr. Goher's birthday, August 3rd.
Okay, and the other one is in the chat. Let's leave all our burdens to
thank
Baba. August, could you repeat, please, Rosalie?
August 3rd is her birthday.
Third.
Dr. Goher.
Okay. Okay. The quote is: all worship returns to me. The sigh within the prayer is the same in the heart of the Christian, the Mohammedan, or the Jew. They are all indivisibly longing for the same God. I am unmindful of all the qualifications you have. The only qualification I want you to have is love. You love me and I am pleased with you. Jai Meher Baba.
Perfect for Goher. Yeah. Well.
Lovely. Yes, Meher.
September 9.
All right. So the quote is: my duty is to take you out of the clutches of Maya, and while I do this, I have to face opposition from Maya, who does not wish me to do it. Why? It is automatic according to the law of reaction. Maya does not intentionally do it, but it happens automatically. The more I try to release people from her clutches, the more she tries to draw them into her net and create opposition. Jai Meher Baba.
Thank you.
What about you, Roshani?
Yeah.
I read for 18th December, which was my first day of going to Baba. And now I will read January 19th when I had the big Humpty Dumpty fall at the Samadhi.
Wow.
I haven't heard that story. You want to tell that?
Oh, sure. So I'll read the quote and then tell the story.
All right.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So Jan 19th is, oh, lovely. Each incarnate life is an opportunity for the realization of one's true self. Each death or discarnate life is an opportunity for achieving a semblance of balance to start another birth with its further chance at self realization. Not by seeking individual happiness or safety, but by again and again offering one's life in the service of others. Is it possible to rise to the unsurpassed completeness of realized truth? Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Baba. Wow. Wow.
So it was my first Amar Tithi volunteering last year, 2020. And I left for my 15 days prior to Amar Tithi to help out as a medical volunteer at the Meher Hospital. And I went on 18th of Jan, and 19th of Jan I was walking up from MPR to the Samadhi, and I just reached the plateau part of the Samadhi after the slope through the trees, and I could see the Samadhi on the left side. And I don't know what happened. There was no stone or nothing, but it was almost as if my leg is being held and I'm going down. And I went straight head on, and it took some time to kind of what happened. And I sat down, looked at myself. I didn't have a single bruise. My No part of my clothes were torn, even though there are all pebbles and whatever little stones out there up. So I tried to get up, but I couldn't much get up, and I felt little pressure and pain in my ankle. And then I tried to lift my leg, and I felt little pain in my wrist. So I did the little thing and then got up and started limping and went up to the Samadhi. And I sat on the bench, and I first went to the cupboard and opened up to find the first aid box, just in case. I had long sleeves, so I said I'll see if there is any bruise inside. So I opened the box, and the box was empty. There was no first aid in it, and it had got over. I said, I got this fall so that I see. I'm a medical volunteer. Baba wanted me to see that the box is empty. So I sat down there, and the arti began, and then I had my turn singing and everything, and I finished the singing, and I had little more pain by then. But then I said I will go down and I will ask at the reception where the guys sit with the keys, and they have a medical box as a first aid box as well. So I had a little hurt and little bluishness on my elbow, kind of a thing. But I said I'll go down and check it out. So after the RZ, I went down and I asked him for the box, and lo behold, even that box was empty. So I told him, I said, अरे box में कुछ नहीं है. He said, हाँ वो खत्म हो गया है. So I said, अच्छा ठीक है, let it be. And I had little iodex, which is a little balm kind of a thing for hurts. So I said I'll put little iodex in the room, and then tomorrow I will take auto rickshaw and go to Ahmednagar and get some medical supplies and fill both the boxes. So any which ways that happened, and then we had to work with all the doctors coming in at the hospital, and their scheduling had to be done. So I was working under Karen for doing all those listings and everything. And I got all the medical things, filled up both the boxes, and put some extra there at the our medical center at MPR. And then as the days graduated towards Amar Tithi, my pain increased. And then by 27th, 28th, I had like a swollen foot and I had immense pain. I couldn't walk and I was still going up and down from MPR to the hospital.
Oh no.
The last 4 days, I was staying at the hospital itself and we were going up to the site at the Samadhi and so on. So then it so happened that just actually after 1 day after my fall, we were sitting in the dining hall and I just started feeling very uneasy and started looking around whether something had happened, but I couldn't see anything. And then after about 10 minutes, there was a little chaos. So I looked behind, and at the water side, somebody had fallen. So there was this German lady who had fallen down near the water side, and she couldn't just move at all. And her hip had apparently got hurt, and then we took her into they picked her up, took her into the medical space, and then by the end in the night it was that we may need to admit her. All gathered over there, and Melinda said, over there in the hospital they speak Marathi or Hindi, so if somebody is there who can speak locally is good. And we were all sitting out there at that parapet outside, and she said, Roshni, can you come? I said, oh, I can't be much helpful because my hand, I can't do anything. My leg is limping. I said, no, you just have to talk. I said, oh, okay, fine. I'll come. So we went along in the ambulance with her, and then they did some X-rays and stuff like that. And then 1:30 in the night, this little doctor comes. Now it was a Sunday. No, it was sorry, it was not a Sunday. It was way past midnight, so it was almost 1 o'clock or so by the time this doctor comes in casualty. And casualty, usually there are no doctors as such, at these hospitals like senior or like orthopedics, or there is one general GP who is available usually. So this doctor comes and says, oh, I've seen these X-rays and stuff like that, and her case has been given to this orthopedic doctor, and we need to do her operation right away because otherwise the firma will rise up. I said, oh my God, I don't know anything about that. Just wait. So we did a little thing, messaged Melinda, and I said, they want me to sign some forms. Yeah, you sign, you sign. I said, yeah, but I'm not a relative. Daughter is at MPR. I said, no, it's okay, you sign. So I signed and they took her in. And then 3:30 or 3:45 in the morning, they got her out at the ICU. So I was sitting on the stool. I said, I need one more stool to put my leg. So we had one more little chair and little stool, and I was with my leg up, sitting next to her and holding her hand. And then she woke up at around 6:30, quarter to 7 in the morning. And I remember telling her it's going to be Aarti time in next 10 minutes, Dan. And we held hands and we said Aarti together next afternoon, and we were there. And yes, my thing continued, and then I did my X-ray since I was there. I thought I'll do my X-ray as well. So I tried to do the X-ray, but there was no doctor, so I didn't get the report. And then I had no way to go back to the hospital. So the report remained there, and by 27, 28, my swelling was up. So I had a little crepe bandage I took from Dr. Ann, and I had put it up, and I took a little stick. So I myself was a medical patient and a medical volunteer. I was doing whatever little bit that needed to be done. And then on Amar Tithi, by that time, I was absolutely on wheelchair. I couldn't walk at all. And I had this wristband, I had my knee that was swollen, and my ankle. So my whole left side was like in in Baba's crutches. And at the stroke of, we had our tokens taken, but it was at the stroke of 12. And then I had my wheelchair on the side, and I went into the Samadhi holding a friend's hand. I said, no, Baba, I don't want such VIP darshans on wheelchair. But yes, I got that. And whatever the reason be it so, whatever sanskaras got wiped off. And then ultimately on 2nd Feb, I came. So I went to do an X-ray, but my orthopedic said you better do an MRI because I don't think in X-ray we'll get anything. So I did an MRI, and then he said I need to go for an urgent knee surgery.
What?
So
What? Really?
I just, when did you fall down? I said 19th of Jan. I said, and what were you doing? Sleeping for last 14 days? So I said, no, I was volunteering. I was like, I'm like absolutely surprised how you were doing it with all of this. So there were 3 fractures. There was a fracture in the wrist, fracture in the knee, fracture in the ankle, and there was some
Roshani.
water clogging and blood clotting in the knee. So I had a knee surgery. But the timing, I tell you. So the knee surgery happened exactly on the day Baba was interred on February 7th.
Wow. What was the injury to the knee? What was it?
So I had a cap fracture, and the cap had slid on the side, and there was water clogging and blood clotting in the knee.
Oh no.
Gosh.
So, but it happened exactly on the day and time of Baba being interred, which was for me, for all the reasons that could be for Baba to do that. And it was as if personally he's doing that surgery.
Oh yeah.
And my physiotherapy went on was to be on for 6 weeks, and I kept on getting, I have to go for the Dhuni in March. And my doctor was, you can't travel with this, with the surgery and just 2 weeks of 2.5 weeks of this physiotherapy. And I was insistent, something every day I would pray, I would see myself that I have to come for the Dhuni, I would come for the Dhuni. And then ultimately, helter skelter, I went for the Dhuni, and I got to lit the Dhuni. Jal uncle called me to light the Dhuni. So I lit the Dhuni limping and went up the thing. And I couldn't bend, so this leg was straight, and I was bending to light the Dhuni while holding my fiance. And then on 14th March we returned, and returned, our Prime Minister announced that 18th of March onwards is the lockdown.
Oh my God.
Wow.
If I would not go for that Dhuni, I would not see the Samadhi for that whole year till now.
Wow. Wow.
And it was like, timing was like impeccable as always with Baba.
Wow.
And just as the lockdown happened, the hospital where I had surgery was the first hospital to close down because of the first COVID case that they had. So it was like, oh my God. It was crazy.
Was that in Pune? Did you go to Pune for surgery?
No, in Mumbai.
You had.
I live in Mumbai.
Oh, you went back to Mumbai and then came back again for Dhuni?
Yes, came back again for Dhuni. That's right. After my surgery, which was about 2.5 weeks of physiotherapy.
Oh my God. Roshani, what day is your birthday's on the 18th? What year are you born?
No, my birthday is not on 18th. My birthday is 26th May.
26th May. And what year are you born?
73.
73. Wow, 26.
My parents got married the year Baba left his physical body.
Wow.
But the arranged marriage happened between 31st of January to Baba's birthday, 25th of February.
Were they Baba lovers?
Wow.
No, they weren't.
Wow.
But yeah, they were lovers of God.
I'm curious about the German. I know one German, Ursula from Germany. But what was your was
Diane? Diane. Yeah. What? And she had a daughter called Sita.
Wow.
How do you say your name? Is it Roshani or Roshani?
Roshni. It's spelled out with an A, just like the book Meher Roshni.
Roshni. ROSHANI. Yeah.
But pronunciation wise, it's just Roshni.
Roshni. But it's so funny because I hear that and I almost alert because my name's Rosalie. And usually there's there's not too many names that sound like mine, you know, but, and yours also has 3 syllables. It's musical. It's musical. Yeah. Anyway, what a story. What an incredible story. Yeah.
So you were
Yes,
walking.
Baba.
You should write that up. That should be recorded. Yeah. Special.
We were walking around on fractures.
And so funny enough that I had brought in Dr. Ann had given me a pillow from the hospital because I needed it in the car. It was a flat one, you know, the thick flat one in the hospital. So I had taken, and she had given me that you keep it and then you bring it back later on. And that Mehrabad pillow was there with me throughout the lockdown.
Wow.
So it's like,
wow.
everything Baba does is so incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so we have another date that Meher wants.
Yeah. I like doing this because who could go wrong hearing Baba's words?
Yeah. Yes, Meher, what date you want?
Say the 11th of March that same year.
No, there is no year. There is only 11th of March.
11th of March, 1920.
No, but there is no, means there is no year in this calendar is what I'm saying. There is only date. So I'll just read March 20.
11th of March.
11th of March you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
11th of March.
Okay. So the quote is, death is like sleep, and as sleep is essential to man, so also is death a necessary part of life. In reality, no one is born and no one dies. This is all a dream. And what worth does a dream have? The overwhelming importance of death is derived from the man's attachment to particular forms. Love resembles death in that it annihilates snobbery, vulgarity, and all distinctions. Jai Meher Baba.
Oh,
Baba.
Oh, lovely quote.
And very, very deeply profound that is.
Can you say it again? Can you read it again?
Sure. Death is like sleep, and as sleep is essential to man, so also is death a necessary part of life. In reality, no one is born and no one dies. This is all a dream. And what worth does a dream have? The overwhelming importance of death is derived from man's attachment to particular forms. Love resembles death in that it annihilates snobbery, vulgarity, and all distinctions.
Wow.
Wow, that's right.
Beautiful.
Ah.
Thank you.
You know why I asked you to read it?
Why?
Tell Meher.
Huh?
Why?
That we all met at Mehrabad. That was the last time.
Oh, wow.
Then we haven't. That was the last.
Yeah, so that was also the first bus trip that I had taken to Mehrabad, and it was the day then that Bauji gave me the name Roshni from Baba.
Such a nice name.
So there was death. So there was death of the old and the birth of Roshni.
Wow.
You came
Roshni ji,
Yes.
tell me what is the meaning of Roshni to them? Roshni means light, throwing light.
Roshni means light. So on the day when Bauji's that chat happens on Sunday evenings.
Yeah.
So we all were over there, and I was sitting on the floor, and one of the pictures of Baba, which has this smiling gesture with hands, kept on hitting me throughout that evening while we were just waiting for Bauji to come out, and his photograph with the feet, which Baba's feet up there, and you can see out focus Baba's face. So that picture was keeping on coming to me, and we were seated behind on the chairs, And then after some time, when it was gathering, I got up from the chair and I just went and sat right in front. And when they got Bhauji in, Bhauji, I'd gone for that first time. I'd never gone before for this gathering. And Bhauji was seated, and they lift Bhauji's legs and they put it on the stool, and Bhauji's feet are exactly like this, right into my face. And it was like I was goosebumped sitting out there. And then just weirdly, I kept on getting this thought of take your name from Bhau, you know. So I was like, what is take your name from Bhau? What was that? And the evening progressed. People asked questions. Bhauji was giving answers. And then I put up my hand. Can I ask something? They say, yeah, please ask. And I said, Bhauji, can you give me a name? So everybody just looked, what is give me a name? And Bhauji is asking me, and he doesn't know me. What is your name? So I said, Shenazz. Very good. Who kept it? So I said, my parents. Very nice. Why you want a name? I don't know. So I kept quiet and he smiled. And then another question started. And I kept on getting this. Take your name from Bhau. Take your name from Bhau. And after some time, I gathered more guts, and a Mother P was sitting on the stool next to him. And I said, excuse me, can I ask again for the name? So she said, and then there was this other girl, I forget her name, who was sitting next to Bhauji, where she was holding Bhauji, because Bhauji would tilt on one side at times because of not being able to hold up. So she would put her hand so that Bhauji could be upright on the chair. So she got up and Mother P did this, and she made me sit over there. So I sat over there and I put my hand, the way that girl was doing. And after some time, I asked her again, can I ask him for a name? And she was saying, okay, ask. So I, again, after some time, I said, Bhauji, can you give me a name? Three times. He looked at me again. And then it completely dumbstruck me. And he looks at me like looking into my eyes. And he says, first sing that song for Baba that you have. So the song Baba Tero Naam, which I've sang sometimes at the Aarti, was the words that had come to me on my first trip to Mehrabad. But I'd never sung that song. I'd never told anyone. And on that Dhuni, which was 12th March, Monday, I was going to sing at the Samadhi. And I was like, how he knows that I have a song for Baba. So I said that, yeah, I have a song. Sing. I was like a little choked, but I sang one verse. And then he says, you sing and dance very well. Now he doesn't know me to say anything. And truly, this dance has been since childhood something close to my heart. So I start crying, that it's as if Baba just getting it out of him, or what it is, I don't know. And after that, he puts his hand on my head and he says, you are Roshni. You are Meher's Roshni. And I just start crying berserkly. And then he holds my hand firmly and with a very stern voice says, you are Mother Light, and Mother Light never cries. And he just looks into my eyes with that sternness. And I'm crying and I'm trying to stop crying. And, with this mix. And then everything went on. We broke for this little gap they have to give him medicines. So some people leave, some people stay on after that little soup and medicine time. And I requested Mehernathji to open the bookstore at that time, which was at Meher Nazar Trust office itself, because all my these friends were there who we had come for the first time. And it was a Sunday, so Bhale Rauji, gentleman who looks after who sits at the kind of cashier for the store, was not there. But yet Mehernath ji opened the store for us, and we were looking at books, and I kept on getting, there is a blue book for me. I said, I have all Baba's books. I have no more spending right now. And I kept on telling in my mind. And after 1 hour or so that we were doing things, Mehernath ji was about to close, and everybody was standing in the line to pay. I asked this one of the guys in our group. I said, "Can you look up on shelves any blue book is there if you can see?" So looked around. He said, "No, there are no blue books." He still went on looking, and then right at the corner, just above where Mehernath ji was sitting, they were put horizontal, so you couldn't even see. There were other books, and then on top of that, these books were there. So he said, "Yeah, something blue is there at the end." So I said, "Okay, just take it out, see what is there." And he took out that entire bunch which was on top of each other, and the book was Meher Roshni, and it was a blue
Oh,
color book, and I had never ever known or seen that book before. So I asked Mehernath ji, "Is this
Wow.
a new book?" And says, "No, these are ghazals done by Bhauji, and this is a very old book, but it just got into reprint and came last week."
oh.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Wow.
And so we had Bhauji couldn't write, but Mehernath ji put a pen in his hand, and Bhauji little scribbled on my book, and then Mehernath ji signed, and then I took it with Baba's love.
Wow.
Wow.
How long before Bauji passed? It sounded like he was pretty sick.
That's it was exactly 1.5 year before.
Wow. Wow. Roshni. I'm glad we recorded. This is all recorded. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Wow.
He was the only Manli I met. And every from 2010, 11, 12, 13, all my birthdays I had spent with Bhauji and the caregiving unit. So I would take a cake from Bombay. I would go for a day's trip because MPR would be shut. So it would remind me of school times because my birthday was always in May vacations and school was not open. So I said, oh, MPR is also shut. It was just like school vacation. So I used to make a day's trip and we used to celebrate with Bhauji. And then thereafter, after Bhauji left also, I celebrate every year until this 2020 with Mehernath ji and Raj and everyone at Mehr Nazar.
Wow.
Wow.
Bhauji has been precious in my life.
Oh my.
Yeah. And you know, Bauji, that was his second life being in circle because he came pretty well right back. He was nervous. He was nervous, and Manzili Beam, he died, and yeah, he was Bao come back. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. And then in 2015, Raj and Mehernath ji gave me Bhauji's night suit, which he used to wear with Baba.
Oh my.
His what? His
night suit. His night suit that he wore during Baba's times as night watchman.
Oh, wow. Yeah. He was Baba's night watchman so long, many years, huh? Wow. That's hard, keeping awake, and then he'd have to write in the daytime. When I first came to India in 76, I didn't even see him because he was writing, Lord Mayher. He was writing and writing. Yeah, I never met him. And then he kept coming to USA with John Connor. Now, John Connor, who used to, help him and John Connor's parents were in Los Angeles, so they'd come so John could have a visit. Yeah. But we sang Kawali, and he loved Kawali singing. Bao. He loved Kawali. And one time, I have to tell you, we were at Jacko Caracos. It was after a Sahavas, our summer Sahavas, July, and we sang maybe a couple hours Kawali, and people got so excited after all this Kawali singing. People started jumping and like dancing. And Bao, he was always some kind of disturbance physically. He was bouncing on the ground He was, I would say he was bouncing because he went pretty high and I couldn't believe it was him. You know, I thought, what is he, a yogi? Yeah. Yeah.
At Marana, Rosalie?
No, it wasn't Marana. It was at if you've ever met Jackal Caraco, you must have with Marana, yeah.
Oh, it was at
at his parents' house.
Yeah.
He'd always have the mandali come after our sahavas.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe it. I thought, who is this person? He was like a spring, just real light, not having to be held or helped. No, yeah. That must have been like after he swallowed that banana whole. You know. Yeah, just incredible.
Wow, what a story.
Jai Meher Baba.
You know who would love to hear this? I'll have to tell her to listen to is Michal from Israel.
Yeah.
It feels very close. So she'd love to hear this story if she hasn't heard this. Wow, yeah. So
I'm reading December 24th.
Who's that?
Okay.
Christmas Eve.
Yes, but that is the day Baba made me meet my Babaful second half.
You're what? Your second what?
Half.
My other half.
My
partner. I said Baba made me meet my partner.
Oh, yeah.
He said yes. So let me read 24th December. Okay. Oh my God. Those who are united in love know no separation. Wherever I am, wherever you are, I am always with you. My love and blessings to you all. Man does not seek suffering, but it comes to him as an inevitable outcome of the very manner in which he seeks happiness. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
Beautiful.
What a beautiful quote.
Can you read that again? I love that. I've been wanting to hear that quote.
Those who are united in love know no separation. Wherever I am, wherever you are, I am always with you. My love and blessings to you all. Man does not seek suffering, but it comes to him as an inevitable outcome of the very manner in which he seeks happiness. Jai Meher Baba.
Beautiful. Those who are united in love know no separation.
No separation.
Wherever I am, wherever you are,
I'm always with you.
Yeah, I am always with you. I wanted to put this in a card of Jamie Newell and Zoe because they were married like 40 years. And I was looking for the words and I couldn't find it. And then what does it say after? Wherever I am, wherever you are, I am always with you.
My love and blessings to you all.
I am always with you. Yeah, that's so perfect. And where does that come from? Does that come from marriage, from a discourse?
Yes, it could be. I don't know the exact because over here I don't have the source written, but I can find out and let you know.
Yeah, because I was looking for that exact quote to put on this card I was sending them. They just celebrated and okay, those who are united in love know no separation. Wherever I am, wherever you are, I am always with you. And then what?
I'm always with you.
I am always with you, but that one more sentence.
Yes, after that is man does not seek suffering, but it comes to him as an inevitable outcome of the very manner in which he seeks happiness.
Oh, wow. That's part of it?
Yes, that's part of it. It's together.
Oh, can you say that again?
Man does not seek suffering, but it comes to him as an inevitable outcome of the very manner in which he seeks happiness.
That's so beautiful.
Hey, Roshani, do you know Ganesh? You know Ganesh, yeah? And I'm trying to get a message to him, and I don't know how to do WhatsApp very well. Let me tell you what's happening. There's a Jeff on his late night is going to interview Steve Barry, who was with Adi when he died. Steve Barry was, and also who was with them in the car is this man named Janardhan. Do you know Janardhan Rao? Janardhan was also with them. They were together.
Yeah, he was holding Adi.
Yeah, he was holding Adi. So I told Jeff, we really should get Janardhan on the late night chat.
Oh, yes, yeah.
But I don't know how to, I'm not very good. I don't know WhatsApp very well.
Okay, I will try to ask Ganesh.
Yeah, if he can get a hold of late night chat is like, I think it's 10.
It's 3:30 a.m. our time, right?
No, I don't think so. It's
no, that's Effort and Grace. Sorry, late night chat is 10:30.
It's a good
so
time.
It is 10:30 your time. It's about 1 a.m. our time.
No, Roshni, no. It's late night chat with Jeff is at 7:30 our time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's 10:30 p.m. your time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 7:30 a.m. our time.
Our time. Okay.
So if he could do it, yeah. So
all right, I'll ask Ganesh.
Betty, auntie, the lemon mummy.
Yeah.
Janardhan stays in Nizamabad. I can send you his phone number.
Okay, I'm not.
Betty is unable to WhatsApp, so could you WhatsApp them?
No. The difficulty with Janardhan is, if I ask him, he says, you know that I doesn't speak anywhere.
Oh,
and he doesn't,
He doesn't have to talk.
And he says, don't give my reference also to anyone. That's what he always tells to me.
Okay.
Because we call him as Kaka. Kaka means uncle, Janardhan uncle.
And if you would tell him that Steve Barry will be there, he knows Steve. He doesn't have to talk.
Because technically, Adi passed away in his hands.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it would be so nice. I bet Steve is going to tell that story tonight, I would think.
Yeah.
Bernardin could. He doesn't have to talk, but he could.
I can tell tomorrow at 7:30 in our morning time, so that I'll ask him to join at the.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow. What is the code? Tomorrow, today is Champa. Tomorrow, I don't know what's the.
Chummy. It's chummy. From tomorrow, it will be chummy.
Yeah.
Chummy.
After the late night. But
CHUMMY.
No, Meher Chandji. For the late night chat, it will still be Champa. After the late night chat, it will turn to chummy.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you both
tomorrow I'll ask him to join at 7:30 in the morning.
It's early.
Our morning, 7:30. With Jeff talks, no? Jeff late night chats.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just not call him. Don't worry about it.
Tell him it's Steve Barry. Steve Barry.
Steve Barry. Yeah.
You can remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Roshni, maybe if you could just, I don't know if it's not too hard, if you could just tell Ganesh. It'd be nice.
Yes, I will. I will tell him as well.
I have the same birthday as Steve Barry, June 16th. We're friends from California.
Oh.
Yeah. And
my father is July 16th.
No, June 16th. Oh, that's your father? Yeah. Well, this was quite something.
I know, this is quite a meeting.
I mean, like yesterday was the East-West, and now this is like Baba's really full force. Yeah.
I'm so glad, Roshani, we have your whole story recorded.
Yeah, we love it. Well, now tell me, are you really born in 1973?
Yes. Why do you think?
Well, it's so funny because I have this pastime for astrology. You almost have more Gemini than I do. I have a lot of Gemini in me. You know, all that activity, you know.
that is the only good thing I think I have of Gemini. I'm glad I don't have the other things.
The downside. You don't want the downside. Yeah. but
I have a lot of Taurus in me. And that also is a different story altogether. But yeah.
Well, yeah, but Taurus, they say Aries and Taurus meet, and the child is Gemini.
So let me read 26 May then.
Yeah.
All right.
And then after May 24th, because Baba's auto accident,
Yes.
I went to that one.
Okay. So May 26 says, the unconscious self, which is God, in order to become conscious, has to go through this apparent opposite process of duality in order to become aware of its oneness with God and gain that conscious union with God, which makes lover and beloved one. You make the effort, and I will give you the victory. It is a divine struggle with purpose behind it. Don't fight against it. Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Baba. No, but it's kind of funny, Roshani, because Gemini it's kind of like duality. You know, it's kind of like both ways of seeing something. You know, got to bring them together. And thank God we have Baba for a master.
I got to go. But you could go on and on. I must depart. Jai Baba. Hey, thank you so much.
Jai Baba.
Oh,
yes, we can close.
Before closing,
one before closing, one for the road.
No. I'm just not for sickness. While you're passing on this thing, I just thought about Baba's star is Pisces. And I always feel that my star is also Pisces. Baba was born on 25th February. I was just born on intervening date of 5th and 6th. Means after midnight. And Baba's height is 5 feet 8 inches. I'm also 5 feet 8 inches. Baba's blood group AB positive. Mine is also AB positive.
Wow.
I don't know. That's a gift of love from Baba.
Jai Meher Baba. That's a wonderful gift, Meher Chandji.
Yes, Jai Meher Baba.
I have to tell you this thing with Mara, Baba's Mara. She looked at me one day and she says, "Oh, Rosalie, you're tall. You're tall." And I says, "I'm 5'7". She says, "Good. It's better to look up to Baba," because Baba was 5'8". Yes, Mara. Yes.
Then I would be so fortunate if Baba was alive. I'm just 5.
Wow, you're just 5. Wow.
Oh, you're a big personality, Roshani.
Baba's auto accident, the 24th, 24th of May.
Okay, so one last one before we close for the day. Okay. The day of the Oklahoma accident in 1952. Yes. Men suffer for their karma. Masters suffer for others. And the avatar suffers for each and all in creation. The personal disaster for some years foretold by me at last happened while crossing the American continent, causing me through facial injuries, a broken leg and a broken arm, much mental and physical suffering. It was necessary that it should happen in America. God willed it.
Willed it so.
So, Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Oh, thank you. Hey, thank you.
Thank you. And we can end with Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba
ki jai.
Avatar Meher
Baba ki
jai. Avatar Meher
Baba ki jai. Thank you, Roshni.
Oh,
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Baba. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
all.
Thank you, each of you, for the wonderful dates
Hi,
that you shared.
Betty.
bye bye.
Hi. Bye.